And now Kutztown University Athletics and KUR present to you this week's edition of the Golden Bear Beat. This weekly radio program brings to you an in-depth look at the week in sports around campus, including game highlights, player and coach interviews, and an analysis of recent sporting events. Live on campus, let's send it to our host, Adam Dobrowolski.
And good afternoon, everybody, as we are into October, the second month of the 2013-2014 athletic calendar. Golden Bears athletics heating up, football having a very controversial loss this past Saturday against Westchester. Women's soccer on a roll. Volleyball getting some big wins in crossover play. Field hockey splitting its PSAC season opening weekend. So a lot of things heating up. We also have things coming up this weekend that will allow next week's Golden Bear Beat to be quite the big action-packed episode. So we have plenty of things coming up here in this upcoming month here. Exciting time as October really starts to get in the swing of things for the fall sports. We're going to begin things off with Kutztown football, as they began the season 0-3, losing to Clarion, who started 3-0, losing to Cal, who started 3-0, losing to Bloomsburg, who started 3-0. A very strong part of the schedule to begin the year for KU. It was no different this past Saturday at Westchester. The Golden Bears facing off against the Golden Rams, a team that ranked 19th at the time in the nation. Let's start it off as we go to John A. Farrell Stadium. Golden Bears trying to do a little bit better than they did the previous week against Bloomsburg at home. KU stayed in the game for about two and a half quarters. Then Bloomsburg finally got a multiple possession lead midway through the third, broke away in the fourth. KU trying to stay in this game and even pull off the road upset. Early on for KU as they were able to really take Westchester out of their element, to put it best. KU creating some mistakes from Westchester despite a penalty offsides on a punt by KU. Westchester going for a 4th and 6. The pass incomplete from Sean McCartney to Tom Kaiser. The next drive for the Golden Rams, McCartney and crew coughing it up.
Second down and 10 for Westchester at the 14-yard line. McCartney, short drop, throwing right, complete to Shannon Mayer coming back, and Mayer breaks a tackle, got around Lance Dean at the 20-yard line. Football comes free, and Westchester will cough it up as it's recovered right along the sideline by Kutztown's Cody Kelso, and the Golden Bears will have it first down at the Westchester 28-yard line.
The call from Steve Dagler, which was heard live exclusively here on KUR. So Kutztown getting the ball. They have it in Westchester territory. And what would you know, just 2 plays later, Kutztown grabbing the lead.
Warner out of the shotgun. 3 receivers to the left. To give. No, it's a fake. Throwing a slant into the end zone. Touchdown! A juggling catch is made by Anthony Kelly. And the Golden Bears turn the fumble recovery into 6 quick points.
So that touchdown pass from Warner to Kelly. Extra point good from Andrew Deutsch. KU grabbing the early lead, 7-0. We go a few possessions later, deep into the first quarter. Westchester driving into KU territory. Big play from McCartney to Erik Brundage, 44 yards in the red zone. On the 3rd and 2, Rondell White rushing 5 yards to the KU 5, but Kutztown holding a big play on a personal foul by Westchester on a loss of 2 by Rondell White. Made it 3rd and goal from the KU 19. KU forces an incomplete pass. Sean Leo on for a 36-yard attempt, and he's good. So the score 7-3 through 1 quarter. After an interception by Alec Warner, Sean Krautzel taking it down to the KU 23-yard line. Golden Rams on the ensuing drive grab the lead.
They're going to go under center with Bonaquisti in there at fullback. White the tailback. First and goal at the 1. McCartney takes the snap, gives to Rondell White, lowers the head, dives in, touchdown. Rondell White from 1 yard out will give Westchester the lead with his 8th rushing touchdown of the season.
That was after White received the pass completion of 17 yards. Extra point good from Leo and the Golden Rams, and WCU ahead of KU 10-7. Kutztown, though, would come right back on offense. 3rd and 5, Warner completing a pass to Brett Fox, 8 yards and a first down. 3 plays later, 3rd and 10, Warner finding Cody Reed, 21 yards, first down into Westchester territory. 3 plays again later, 3rd and 5, Warner to Fox, 9 yards and a first down. And then 3rd and 10, 3 plays later. Let's make it 4 for 4 on 3rd down for the Golden Bears.
6:50 to play first half, 10-7 Westchester. 4 down territory for the Golden Bears. Warner looking right, throwing, great leaping catch by Fox at the 10, on his feet, diving to the goal line, touchdown! Brett Fox with a great catch in heavy traffic. He hauls it in and heads to the end zone for a 25-yard Kutztown touchdown.
Extra point good from Deutsch, 14-10. Now KU with the lead, and how about it on the next play from scrimmage for Westchester? McCartney is intercepted by Zachary Delp. KU in Westchester territory, and again, they convert on 3rd downs. Daryl Scott on a 3rd and 2, rushing for 3 yards to the Westchester 20. 3rd and 9, Alec Warner to Brett Fox, 9 yards and a first down to the Westchester 10. Inside of 2 minutes, 3rd and goal. Controversial play here. Alec Warner, pass incomplete to Alex Etier. It was a pass a little bit underthrown by Warner, and the referees ruled that Etier, bobbled the ball, hit the ground. For whatever reason it was, some of the Golden Bears receivers thought it was a clean catch for Etier, and instead it leads to a 4th and goal at the Westchester 2. Drew Folmar, inside of 2 minutes, deciding to try and make the team go up by 7. He goes for the field goal. Andrew Deutsch on from 19 yards.
Deutsch will come back out. Luckenbaugh is the holder. Ben Kreger is the long snapper. 19-yard attempt for Deutsch, trying to make it a 7-point game late in the first half. Good snap. Hold is down. Kick is blocked. Well, Kutztown comes up empty, and that'll give Westchester all kinds of momentum, and the special teams woes continue for the Golden Bears.
Andrew Deutsch had no problems with the extra points in this game. Unfortunately, though, the extra point-like field goal was a liner that was blocked, and Westchester keeping it a 4-point game. KU, good job responding defensively. They forced a 3-and-out by the Golden Rams. It's 14-10 at the half. We go to the 3rd quarter. Kutztown doing a great job winning the field positioning battle. Didn't talk about it in the first half, but in the second half, more of the same from Andrew Deutsch punting-wise. He was good with the extra points, had the problem with the field goal, but punting was his best of the game. Punt down to the Westchester 7. In fact, all the first 5 punts by Deutsch inside the 20 for Westchester, and several inside the 10. Westchester, on the flip side, as they try to drive into KU territory, they get stopped on a 3rd and 2. Rich Bruno punts to the KU 7. Fair catch by Cody Reed. Kutztown trying to bounce back field position their way. A huge play, a 35-yarder from Warner to Fox, sent the ball to the Westchester 26. However, on a 3rd down and 7, Kutztown, for all the good they did in the first half on 3rd down here, their first 3rd down attempt in the second half ended up leading to a punt. Their second, an interception. Alec Warner intercepted by Drew Folmar. It was caught at the Westchester 8, so possession still in favor of Kutztown in terms of field position, going back and forth. Now, as Westchester got the ball at midfield late in the 3rd quarter, Rondell White losing the football, forced by Cody Kelso, recovered by Jake Wygant. Kutztown taking this to their advantage. 3rd and 16 at the KU 49. Warner complete to Brett Fox, 19 yards and a first down. Later on in the drive, another 3rd down, this time and goal at the 8-yard line.
Now 30 goals to 8 with just over 12 minutes to play in the 4th quarter. Kutztown leads 14-10. Warner out of the shotgun, looking, throws underneath, complete, touchdown, Conties over the middle on a crossing pattern, will take it in for the touchdown from 8 yards out.
Extra point good. Kutztown 21, Westchester 10. Golden Bears could have a huge upset on their hands. What would Westchester do on the next drive? Well, how about this? Sean McCartney on a 3rd and 14, trying to get a first down. A fumble caused by the Golden Bears, recovered by Drake Brumfeld. KU having a chance to put the game away, but maybe a game-changing play, an interception on the next drive by Alhaj Shabazz of an Alec Warner pass, a miscommunication between quarterback and receiver, the rare miscommunication so far this season between Warner and his receiving corps, but that turnover had the ball at midfield. Westchester converts on the 3rd and 10, 11-yard pass to Rondell White. 2 plays later, it's a one-possession game.
McCartney on 2nd down and 1, throwing deep over the middle, complete at the goal line, touchdown! Tim Kaiser took a huge hit and hangs on, and Westchester right back in it with 8:14 to play.
So there it is, 21-16 the score. Westchester would try to go for 2. Kutztown able to force an incomplete pass, and it is now 21-16. Moving forward now, as we continue into this 4th quarter, Kutztown able on their next drive to get the ball in the Westchester territory, punt the ball to the Golden Rams 2-yard line. 4:28 left to go as KU able to get an interception on the 3rd and 10. We apologize, the audio quality not there for a highlight for this one, but Drake Brumfeld with an interception at the KU 37-yard line. 3:27 left to go. KU's going to try and run out the clock. Curtis Wortham, first rush attempt of the drive. 8 yards. Sets up a 2nd and 2. Curtis Wortham again, but the stop by Ronell Williams, the PSAC Defensive Player of the Week, and Mike Labor just for a 1-yard gain. Now 3rd and 1. Clock running towards 2 minutes left to go. Justin Michalak trying to get the first down, but he's pushed back for no gain. Again, Williams on the tackle along with McCloskey for Westchester. 4th and 1. Does KU go for it? No, they're going to punt the ball. Andrew Deutsch, after all, 5 punts, 5 inside the 20-yard line. But controversy on a fair catch by Brandon Monk. A penalty called for fair catch interference, and this was the far side official calling the penalty that was well contested by the Golden Bears, but not overturned. Instead of the ball being at the Westchester 19, it's at the 34-yard line. You give an offense like this the extra yards, they take advantage. First play, Sean McCartney finding Adam Dempsey, 20 yards, first down. Next up, Sean McCartney finds Tim Kaiser, 27 yards, first down. Next play, McCartney to Dempsey, 9 yards. And then McCartney to White, 10 yards, touchdown. Westchester up 22-21. Last chance for the Golden Bears. They get a first play, 19-yard gain into Westchester territory. Then a 4th and 10. Warner finding Cody Reed, 11 yards and a first down. After a fumble by KU that's recovered by Curtis Wortham, 2nd and 16. Alec Warner going deep, but it's intercepted by Alhaj Shabazz at the 19-yard line. Westchester hanging on to win by the final score of 22-21. They escape in a controversial finish as after the touchdown by White to grab the lead, extra time came off the clock, about 10 extra seconds. That made a huge difference as well in Kutztown's comeback attempt. But overall, the Golden Bears, a fantastic game. Oh, so close from pulling off the road upset. They were able to put together a total gain of 108 rush yards, but due to some of the losses, Kutztown would end up with a net 50 yards rushing. Westchester just 51. Rondell White entered the game with a Division II lead in all-purpose yards. He did have 8 receptions for 72 yards. Brett Fox, 13 receptions, 190 yards, leading the way for KU. But a loss for Kutztown, and unfortunately, here for the Golden Bears, an 0-4 start for KU. But now moving forward, we hear from head coach Drew Folmar. And now here with Kutztown football head coach Drew Folmar. Coach, the Golden Bears lose 22-21 on the road, a Saturday night game against a ranked Westchester team. Obviously, a great job by your team to be in that game. Unfortunately, just not the ability to finish the game. Just thoughts, though, overall on how you thought the team played.
Well, again, I think the kids played well. We played hard for most of that game, or I should say we played hard for the entire game and played well enough to win most of the game. Obviously, just couldn't find a way to finish the game there at the end. Had some opportunities on third down to try to convert and keep a drive going and try to chew some more clock, and then ultimately too get off the field at the end of the game on defense. But I think we're coming along. I think the kids are getting better every week, and soon we're gonna pop into that win column.
And sometimes just the unfortunate breaks, a controversial call on a fair catch interference gave the Golden Rams an extra 15 yards, and it kind of put them in that position instead of being inside the 20 where they start every drive after a punt. Before that, they had the ball around the 35-yard line. What is the challenge for you and for the Coach Pennypacker in the defense to try and slow up an offense when they get up that break? They get that break where they get that extra yards in a shorter field.
Well, you preach to your players every week. You have to be able to stop the bleeding, so to speak. And I mean, we just need to find a way to come out, and when the other team's got momentum, we got to find a way to make a play. Whether it's our offense, our defense, or our special teams, we've got to find a way to make a play and get that momentum back on our side. And the thing we always preach to is handle adversity. Because bad things are going to happen through the course of the game, whether it's a bad play, a negative play, whether it's a bad call that the officials make, whether it's a bad call that we make as coaches. We always tell the guys, handle adversity, play the next play.
And the good thing for the team, able to create 5 turnovers. The unfortunate thing, giving away the ball 4 times. First things first, on the defensive side, just thoughts about the team being able to force those negative plays from the Westchester offense, which coming into the game, Rondell White, the running back, led Division II in all-purpose yards, and obviously an offense that had a lot of success so far this season. You're able to slow them up with those turnovers.
No question. I thought the kids did a great job on Saturday night creating turnovers, because that's a point of emphasis every week, and it's something that we've strived to do. And Saturday night, our defense did an outstanding job and gave us some short fields and changed momentum in the game, which helped us out ultimately. It's something we need to continue to do week in and week out. And then offensively, it's like you said, we can't afford to give the ball right back to them when we create turnovers. We've got to do better protecting the football on the offensive side.
Now, for the way that this team played, the way that they lost to Clarion, obviously the sign is this team is right there. They're knocking on the door, and doing so against ranked teams, obviously a great sign. What are some of the things you're gauging from the players? Obviously, it's tough to swallow an 0-4 start, but being able to compete against the Westchesters, the Bloomsburgs, shows that this team is right around there. So overall, how would you gauge a team's mentality? Are they just focused on the next game, hungry to get that next victory?
Absolutely. I think our kids are as focused as they've been all year long, and they're working hard to get some positive results for the work that they're putting in, and they know and understand what it takes and where they're at and where they need to be to get that first win.
Now, we mentioned Rondell White coming into the game leading Division II in all-purpose yards. You limit him to 51 yards and the team to 51 yards rushing. He did have some success, but not a whole lot of success receiving the ball. Just your thoughts on another great week. You had 2 weeks ago against Franklin-Quieté and Bloomsburg, holding them to more than 100 yards below their average. Here, more than 200 yards below the Westchester average in terms of what they've been able to do offensively with these backs. So just talk about the success of the defense.
Well, I think that they've done a great job. I think our coaches have done a good job preparing our players, and then ultimately the kids have done a good job of executing the game plan and going out and making the plays, because that's what it comes down to. Week in, week out are the matchups and players going out and doing their job and making plays. And I think our guys have done a good job. Again, we just need to find a way as a team to finish a game and win the game in the fourth quarter.
Now, another week, another standout receiver. This week it's Brett Fox for the standout week. 13 receptions, 190 yards, a good touchdown, able to break a few tackles to get into the end zone. It just seems like it's good overall chemistry between your freshman quarterback, Alec Warner, and the receivers, whether it's the freshman Alex Tanis, whether it's Brett Fox or Cody Reed. Just talk about the overall offensive chemistry passing the ball.
Well, right now we've had a little bit of success throwing the football, and Alec is doing a decent job of spreading the football around and not getting locked into individuals, getting more so locked into finding the open guy. And it just so happens that this week Brett Fox had a big game, which was great for us. And it comes down to the matchups, and our matchups were a little bit better on the outside, and he was able to make some big plays for us, so we hope that continues.
Now, from the Slippery Rock offense, as we look ahead to this Saturday's game, kickoff at 1:05 for Family Day at University Field. Nigel Barksdale and the SRU offense leading the PSAC overall, and they have a dynamic attack. They don't just pass the ball well, they run the ball well. Talk about their versatility and the challenge that brings.
Well, it's both of those. It's a huge challenge, the versatility that they have, because they're not just a one-trick pony, so to speak, on offense. They throw the ball very well, and then on top of it, they run the ball very well. So it's hard to say, hey, look, we need to shut this down, and we should be okay. But again, he's a great player, the quarterback, Nigel Barksdale, and they have some great wideouts. They have a solid offensive line and some good running backs. It's going to come down to our guys going out and playing for 4 quarters, and I think that we'll do that, and we'll see where the chips fall.
Now, obviously, you can't 100% compare last year to this year, but in what was a wild game last year, 56-49 at Slippery Rock, the score might not indicate it, but there were some big defensive plays, being able to create turnovers. What might have you learned from film from last year that might be able to carry over creating those negative plays like you did last week on defense?
Well, it's a new year. It's a new team. Both teams are different teams. There's a lot of similar players, but it's a different game. It's a different team. But you certainly look back and see what you did well from last season and what you didn't do so well, and try to figure out where they're going to attack us and how we can maybe attack them. But the big focus is honestly on this year's film study and this year's game results and things of that nature. But like I said, there's a couple things that we will take from last year and try to create some turnovers and try to minimize some of the negative plays that we had against us last year.
Can't forget about the battle between the Kutztown offense and the SRU defense. What challenges does their defense bring, and maybe what ways might you be able to exploit their defense differently than you have perhaps Westchester or Bloomsburg?
Well, again, I feel like it's a broken record every week that we come in. The team that we're playing, it's like, holy smokes, they might be the best team we've played all year. They're very solid on defense, just as they are on offense. They have a very good defensive line. They have a solid group of linebackers, and they have some athletic defensive backs. In particular, 2 corners are 3- and 4-year starters for them, as well as a bunch of other players. So it's going to be a big challenge, and it's one of those things where we'll try to get a feel early in the game of some things that we can get some success with and try to hang our hat on those handful of things, as we usually try to do.
Now, obviously, turnovers is going to be a big key that will determine who will win on Saturday. But what do you think might be another kind of wild card for what may determine who wins?
Well, it's always turnovers, as you mentioned, in third down. The big thing for us is keeping drives alive on third down, being able to convert, especially third and short, when hey, maybe the defense knows that we're going to run the football, and we've got to be able to pick up a yard or two, and then on the defense side of the ball, being able to get off the field on third down. I think that's going to be the big key, as well as turnovers. Again,
kickoff 1:05 University Field, Family Day. Make sure to check it out. Go out to the field, root on your Golden Bears. But thank you once again, head coach Drew Folmar.
Thank you.
We're going to step off to a break here on the Golden Bear Beat. When we come back, we will hear from 2 volleyball players, Audrey Stringer and Anna Conti. Stay tuned on KUR. And welcome back to the Golden Bear Beat, as Adam Dobrowolski here with 2 volleyball players, softball middle hitter Audrey Stringer and freshman setter Anna Conti. And first things first, thank you very much, both of you, for joining me. But we'll start off with you, Anna. Your thoughts on the first few weeks of your Kutztown career and how the team's doing overall?
I think overall we're doing pretty well. We're all pretty strong, so it's good. We're coming off with a positive record right now, so I think we're doing pretty well, and we have a lot to look forward to.
And for you, Audrey, your second year with the program, a difference from last year, this year, getting the 2 wins out west. Just your thoughts kind of on how the team's doing.
I think this year we work really well as a team. Like last year, we had a lot of ups and downs. This year, I think we're more consistent on winning. Although, like our last game, we didn't really find our winning streak. But overall, we're really consistent this year. So.
Now, what's standing out so far, at least from what I've seen on the court, haven't been able to see the past few weeks, been having Coach kind of fill me in on everything for the past few weeks, as you were obviously on road trips each of the last 3 weeks, but it seems like you two have the best connection so far. So first, Audrey, you like to have it kind of at a faster pace. What is Anna doing to kind of help you out?
After every set, we always talk to each other, say faster, I'll do this, I'll go faster, you go faster. So we talk a lot on the court. Like, we get it perfect so we can outbeat the other teams. And
Anna, as a freshman, sometimes it's harder for freshmen to kind of step in that role kind of as a leader, but Anna's done a great job as it. How easy did you kind of feel it was to kind of get along with her on the court?
It was really natural. Last year, I know I was really nervous going on the court, and Anna makes it seem like it's so easy. So we're doing really well together. Anna,
do you have any sort of mentality or special thing you tell yourself to make sure that you remain calm, especially, kind of just jumping right into Division II volleyball? Or is it, kind of just a case of not worrying about too many things and just focusing on what you need to do on the court?
I don't know. I always look to the hitters. It's not really about me. It's about the hitters and how they perform. So, as long as they have confidence in me, then I always have confidence in them. So.
Now, as a freshman, obviously, getting to play all the time is a huge plus. Kind of learning on the fly, how has that been for you to kind of adjust of what you need to do to help out your teammates a little bit better? And how good is it to actually be able to do that while playing on the court?
The tempo here is a lot faster than what I was used to, so that was definitely a transition that I had to make. But like Audrey said earlier, as long as we just keep communicating and talking everything out, it makes it really easy.
What do you think has been the best thing about these 3 weeks, being able to get away on a road trip twice to West Virginia, this last time up in Northwest Pennsylvania? How did that really help team bonding? We'll start off with Audrey.
I just think we're going out there seeing the competition that we need to see to prepare ourselves for actual league games. So we're going out there competing hard. We're not competing with weak teams. We're competing with good teams, and we're all together all the time. So we're all bonding and off and on the court.
And is there anything you may have learned about your teammates off the court that might help out chemistry on the court?
We all are really silly on and off the court. So we just, as long as we can share laughs and also have fun and do well at the same time, I think it's just great.
Now, what made you come to Kutztown? Because for those who aren't familiar, Anna is from Ohio. What made you come here to Kutztown? What really stood out to you, and so far your impressions on the university?
Well, I knew I wanted to play volleyball in school, and I knew I wanted to get away a little bit. And I met Coach Gump, and he's just awesome, and he's just a great guy, as a person and as a coach, and he just really made the transition easy, and I could totally see myself being here mostly because of him and then the volleyball program itself, so he made it really easy for me.
Now, Audrey, you're right in eastern Pennsylvania, right by the Delaware River in Yardley. What made you come to Kutztown? There are some other, not too many universities in the PSAC closer, but Westchester is one of those that are closer, some New Jersey schools. What made you choose Kutztown?
It was a good distance away. I could still go home. And like Anna said, Coach Gump made it really easy just to fit in, and the transition was so easy. All the girls were awesome, and I just love the program.
As for the academic side, what are kind of your goals, here as a student and an athlete to kind of build yourself a career moving forward?
Right now I'm undecided, but hopefully at the end of this year I'm going to decide my major and just work hard with volleyball and school. So.
And as for you, Anna, do you have anything right now, or did you kind of just, as a freshman, seeing the scene and kind of picking out eventually what you would like to do?
I'm also undecided, so it's kind of hard for me right now, but I want to make Dean's List if possible and just keep improving on my athletics and with my academics.
Now, I'll obviously ask both of you, as you both have yet to choose a major. What do you feel is the benefit as kind of a student athlete to be able to see what major you want to do? Because sometimes people already know what major they want to do. They might want to be a teacher, or at my undergrad, some of the athletes wanted to be an engineer, and all of a sudden you're kind of thrown right into it. You're not able to kind of get used to the student athlete life. As a freshman, you kind of already get thrown into classes. How has that kind of been able to help you out along the way, where you're not maybe stressing yourself out a little bit too much, and you have time to kind of calm down and focus on the little things of being a student athlete?
Well, the program here for student athletes it's really good. I know my counselor helps me a lot with deciding and what classes I should take to be successful off the court and in school. So, I really like my counselor, and it's a really good program for student athletes here. Anything to add, Anna?
I don't know. It was kind of scary at first, just because it was a little bit overwhelming. But if you take it one step at a time, I think we'll eventually figure out what we want to do. So.
Now, I'll ask both of you kind of a question I think is maybe a little bit more particular to your sport, based on what happens in terms of the road trips, where you'll have 4 games in 2 days. Are there any secrets or any tips you have to kind of stay, well-conditioned and in shape for those weekends? Was it nutrition? Is it sleep? Or is there anything that kind of you have in particular like to do to make sure that you're healthy and well-fueled for all 4 of those games?
Obviously sleep is a really big thing, so we always get to bed at a good time. But when we're on the road, especially, I know, well, on and off the road, but we've been on the road lately. So, coaches are always there for, our food, and so it's, really helpful, because they always tell us what to eat, how much to eat. They always have good snacks and good things to help fuel us for our games.
Anything to add, Audrey?
Yeah, same thing. Getting a good night's sleep, even sleeping on the bus if you have to. Just preparing yourself for the game. I go to the gym after practice sometimes just to get my extra conditioning, because I know I'm going to need it for the weekends, or just eating healthy before we go away, hydrating yourself.
And again, here with Anna Conti and Audrey Stringer. Now, Audrey, last year you played on the right side. You moved more to the middle here this year, and really just stepping things up, being able to put together efficient games. I think 2 games where your hit percentage was above 75. When you have those strong games, is it just a case where you just feel like you get in a rhythm and you kind of get in the zone, and when Anna's giving you the passes, it's kind of second nature to get those hits?
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes I don't even realize how many kills I get. When she gives me the ball, I just want to put it away. That's my goal no matter what. So sometimes I have off games, but when I do have those on games, I just know I just want to put the ball away.
As for blocking at the net, is there anything that you feel leads to your success in particular, timing-wise, or kind of reading the other defense? What's kind of your key to success to be able to make sure you time that jump and be able to block and attack?
We practice blocking a lot. All of us do, and it's helpful for me to be really tall, so that's always a plus. But yeah, just watching the hitters and calling them out as the set comes.
Now, Anna, growing up, did you feel like you were most comfortable as a setter? Did that kind of just eventually evolve into that? What made you decide to become a setter? Do you just like setting the tempo of the offense?
Well, actually, sophomore year in high school, my coach decided that he wanted me to be a setter, and that was something totally new because I was always a hitter, and so that was different. But my junior and senior year, I definitely got a lot more reps, so that was that made the transition easier. But I like it. It's kind of I get to call some of the shots. You know what I mean? I get to decide what plays are running. I get to decide who gets the ball. So I really like it. I get to touch almost every ball, and that makes it fun for me.
We'll make this a little bit fun here. Anna, being from Ohio, what is your favorite sports teams outside of volleyball? And has there been any ribbing back and forth maybe between you and a few other people here from Pennsylvania with the cross-state rivalry?
Yeah, I'm always a huge Buckeye fan, so no matter what sport it is, it's always the Buckeyes. And actually the other day when the Bengals played Pittsburgh, I think, yeah, the Steelers, yeah, I was rooting for the Bengals, and there's other people in my room that were rooting for the Steelers, so that was fun. Now,
Audrey, you're on the eastern side. Eagles or Giants?
I'm actually a Cowboys fan. My dad always grew up a Cowboys fan, so it's just second nature to me. All over my house, Cowboy stuff, so it's a little weird, but...
No comment, but there's a thumbs up in the background off air for that. But any other sports that either one of you played besides volleyball growing up?
I played soccer for a really long time, and actually I chose volleyball my sophomore year. I played soccer on premier teams all throughout middle school and high school. And then when the season switched, my sophomore year, I had to choose volleyball, soccer, so I had to make the decision in volleyball, which is a good one.
As for you, Anna?
I also played soccer when I was little, but I did like gymnastics and cheer as well. And I played basketball all the way up until I played my sophomore year in high school, and then after that I chose volleyball.
Favorite, not necessarily pregame meal, but game day meal?
Baked oatmeal.
Oh, yeah.
Baked oatmeal. We, coach's wife makes it for us every morning before our games. So we'll come up, go in the Golden Bear room, and we'll eat baked oatmeal as a team, so I love it.
Yeah.
Any particular flavor or just,
it's
good baked?
It's just cinnamon, sugar, baked oatmeal. It's so good, but it's tradition here.
And I guess one more question here is, I know you were both kind of, early in your Kutztown careers, but any go-to places in Kutztown, around Kutztown that you like to go to?
Mark's is really good, and Betty's. I just tried.
I haven't really been to that many places, really, but I like Tavern. That's good.
Oh, Tavern rocks.
Yeah.
Corn fritters.
And kind of to close things out here, obviously just getting into the PSAC portion of the season. Audrey, things you're kind of looking forward to this weekend. We have a broadcast on the Golden Bear Network Friday night against Lockhaven. Just some of the things you're looking forward to as you kind of get into the swing of things, main part of the season.
I'm looking forward to beating the teams that beat us last year. They were really strong last year. I know Lockhaven had a really good hitter, and we got crushed. Well, not crushed, but we lost. So I'm ready to go out and beat them this year because we deserve it.
And Anna, kind of just your goal to kind of finish out your first year, great start obviously to your Kutztown career. What are you looking to do to kind of build upon your first chapter here at KU?
Well, I think our team's really promising. We have really good players on the team, so I want to help push everybody else, and hopefully we can have a better record than last year, make it farther than last year, and just play to the best abilities that we have.
Well, hoping to see and hear more great things from the two of you, Anna Conti and Audrey Stringer. Both of you working great together, and thanks again for joining me.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Thanks.
And again, that was Anna Conti and Audrey Stringer as KU Volleyball had a great past weekend, beginning their PSAC play in the crossovers out west. Coach John Gump, head coach of the Golden Bears volleyball team, talked about the team's overall play, 2-2 wins against Slippery Rock and Mercyhurst, losses to Edinburgh and Gannon.
It was a really good weekend for us. Comparing it to last year, we went 0-7 in the crossovers, and that caused us some problems because it put us behind other teams in the East right from the start of the season. So to go out and get 2 wins obviously is improvement for us, but it's also put us in a pretty good position relative to the other teams in the East. Only Pitt Johnstown was able to get 2, so we start the East part of the schedule ahead of most of the other teams in the standings.
This included a comeback victory against Slippery Rock. KU dropped the first 2 sets, but as Coach Gump said, it was late in the second set that swung the momentum for Kutztown to win the 3rd, 4th, and 5th sets. They did have a loss to Edinburgh where they were up 2-1, and Coach Gump said that the team learned how to finish from that game. 2 of your players of the week from KU Volleyball. Audrey Stringer was key in that victory in the comeback against Slippery Rock, 15 kills, only 3 errors. Also Danielle Van Buren, 12 kills, 3 errors in that comeback against Slippery Rock. But we continue on with the show. Some other things going on here for KU, and that involves obviously Saturday's football game with Slippery Rock. It's family day, but it's also Avalanche's birthday. So why not have an Avalanche-related interview? Here we go. And back here again on the Golden Bear Beat is Adam Dobrowolski sitting down with Alta Hart from Events and Programming for Athletics and Isaiah Arpino, part of the Avalanche Patrol, as again this Saturday is Family Day. We have Kutztown football against Slippery Rock, kickoff at 1:05 at University Field, but today also is Avalanche's birthday, and I believe 8th birthday, correct?
Yes, Avalanche is turning 8.
8th birthday, and first things first, Alta or Isaiah, either one of you want to take this, the story behind Avalanche coming to Kutztown?
Yeah, I think I can handle this one. Avalanche was actually abandoned by his family and left on President Ceballos' doorstep 8 years ago, and we opened up the crate at the football game, and Avalanche was inside the crate and ready to rock and roll for the KU students and alumni, and he's been having fun ever since.
Now, is there any truth to the rumor that one of the rivals, Bloomsburg or Westchester, did this, convinced his parents to leave him, or no?
I haven't heard anything about that. The Avalanche has husky friends, and he's got any type of animal is one of Avalanche's friends. So I don't think they would send him here. And if they did, we thank them.
And now we understand that although Avalanche gets along with pretty much anybody, he's selective with his friends that are coming to his birthday party this Saturday.
That's right. I mean, being a mascot, there's a lot of things going on. So we understand that not all of Avalanche's best friends can make it to the game. But yeah, he's got his good buddy from Albright's coming down, as well as
Fleetwood, Pottsgrove, and I think it's Avondale. Is the other one?
High schools. So his younger buddies are coming to play for the game, but Avalanche will be there, and it's gonna be a good time. Lots of fun.
Now, as opposed to, or I shouldn't say opposed, but now for getting the word out to everyone, Alta, what have been some of the things behind the scenes that have been done here to kind of promote the fun that is Avalanche? Because he's not just here at the football games; he's around town, all around.
Yeah. Well, we have him appearing at different events around town. We sent invitations to all the elementary schools, so we invited all the local elementary schools to come to the event as well. Announcements, Facebook, pretty much any way we can get Avalanche out there, we get him out there.
Now, he has a pretty awesome dance repertoire, I must say, that he uses during the football game. Where did he learn some of his dance moves?
I mean, I'd say it's all natural. It's just in his fur, but he's was taught by the Fanatic from Philadelphia, was one of his mentors during Mascot School. And they start real young. I know he's only 8 now, but they start him really young at Mascot School. So, he was taught by the Fanatic from Philadelphia and taught him how to do his belly shake and all his fun little dance moves that he has. But a lot of it's just whatever comes to his head and how he wants to move.
Now, obviously, for Avalanche, he's been around for a lot of good moments here, for PSAC championship winning moments. But what would you say is his favorite aspect of game day? Is it halftime? Is it going around interacting with the crowd?
I mean, from what Avalanche has told me, it's his crowd interaction. He loves meeting, the KU alumni that are there at every game, and he also loves meeting with the the new KU fans as well as the youngest KU fans. So he enjoys getting time to take pictures, sign autographs, and mess around with just about whoever's at the game.
What's the biggest challenge on game day as part of Avalanche Patrol? Because sometimes there's a lot of people who are a little bit too willing to mess around with Avalanche like they do with mascots, whether it's any sport, any type of mascot.
Avalanche is pretty good at getting out of certain situations. I mean, of course he's been put in a couple headlocks, but it's all in good fun. So we understand that, and we're able to get him out of whatever situation need be if it arises. But not too many of them happen. He just likes to go out and have a lot of fun with whoever's there.
Now, Alta, if you can explain last year's birthday, what were some of the highlights? What are really some of the things that the fans can expect coming out for Avalanche's birthday this year?
Well, we do a lot of the things traditionally. He has his birthday party during halftime. And then after halftime during the third quarter, he signs autographs for the kids. And I think from what Avalanche has said, those are his favorite parts of his birthday. He's definitely meeting with the little kids.
Is there any special dance routine that he does for his birthday? I think last year, if I remember correctly, there was the Gangnam Style. I'm trying to remember some of the other dances, but anything maybe that he might have told you ahead of time he's looking forward to trying out?
I think this year he was saying something about he wanted to play musical chairs with maybe the cheer team or something like that. So I think some kids party games might be happening at halftime or something like around that area.
And one of the other aspects for Avalanche that he works with is, I believe, the KU crew out there. They're going to be very active Saturday as well. Talk about that relationship.
Well, they do a lot for Avalanche's birthday. They help him with the autographs. They interact with the little kids. Most of what they do is more behind the scenes, trying to make sure that Avalanche doesn't get overwhelmed as the birthday boy. And
I guess just one final question. Now, Slippery Rock, they don't have a team name. I don't know if they have a mascot or all. But overall for Avalanche here, maybe what I guess the question I'm getting to, for 8 years being here, What kind of added element do you feel Avalanche has brought to game day overall?
I think that, Avalanche has a certain quality to them that, everybody loves seeing this big teddy bear around the stadium. And, I don't think there's an age group out there that Avalanche hasn't been able to, have a nice moment with, or make them laugh, or make a memorable time at the games. So whether they're, just crawling, or, they're just celebrating their 90th birthday, we know that, no matter who it is, it's, Avalanche is going to make sure they have a good time.
Well, that's, again, going to be a fun time this upcoming Saturday. 1:05 the kickoff. Again, thank you very much, Alta Hart, Isaiah Arpino, for coming on. And I know we would thank Avalanche for the fun that will come this Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll step off to break. We'll have more when we return here on the Golden Bear Beat. Stay tuned on KUR. And welcome back here on the Golden Bear Beat as we continue taking a look at KU athletics. Let's get a quick roundabout. We have about 5 minutes left in the show, so we'll get things going now with KU women's soccer. And they are on a roll after a 1-3 start for the Golden Bears. They were able to bounce back with victories against Seton Hill and Pitt Johnstown. Got to the 500 mark this past Friday. They would get over 500, a dominating victory over Clarion 2-0. Kutztown had so many opportunities. They finally broke through in the 36th minute. Taylor Higgins scores off a rebound on a shot from Sam Costello. Costello gets the assist. Higgins, her first game back to start this season, her first goal. As KU had 9 corners in the first half. Didn't get more, but they would add in a second goal in the second half. 69th minute, Elena Curry receives a cross from Sam Costello, heads it in, and KU defeats the Golden Eagles 2-0. The following day against IUP, a strong victory for the Golden Bears. They would win 3-1. Ruby Mink scoring in the 24th minute. Megan Frailer in the 47th minute. Katie Miller in the 64th minute. All of the goals had an assist. And then yesterday against Bloomsburg, KU winning 2-0. It was scoreless at the half, but Kutztown received a nice goal from Sam Costello. As Katie Oliveri got the assist, Costello got the goal. Costello would then get a shot that was rebounded in by Megan Frailer later on in the second half. So KU now 6-3 overall, 6-3 in the PSAC. They're looking quite strong. Talking to head coach Erik Burstein, he talked about 2 things. First, the team's recent run, and second, the team's scoring depth.
We're still kind of streamlining our system and our style of play, which normally we would have sorted out by now, but with the shorter preseason, just taking us a little longer. And we're focusing a lot on competition, just everything competitive, scoring things. Kids are getting after it. The kids have really changed. Their attitude toward competing, getting after things, whether it be winning corner kicks, head balls. I mean, their whole attitude has changed. We're just creating this run that we're on for sure.
As for the team's scoring depth,
yeah, and we're lucky for that. I mean, these kids decide to come to Kutztown for a lot of reasons, and we're thankful that they do. We felt this year we'd have the deepest team we've ever had. And what I mean by that is not just a lot of players, but a lot of quality players. And there's kids that sometimes we don't use who are very good players and help us win games. So the quality that we have is immense, and everybody has a role to play, and people are solving that. We also have some very good freshmen who haven't been getting on as much, who are developing really well, but just aren't quite ready. And that's the hard part of this. We have to manage all of that. But for the most part, yeah, I mean, I've been very pleased with the kids we've been utilizing because, like you said, the level of play doesn't really drop off too much.
Your 2 players of the week, Sam Costello, 1 goal, 3 assists. All 3 goals that Costello assisted on were shots from Costello that were rebounded. So she's doing a great job. Shot placement, aligned that second chance opportunity. 2 of those 3 assists were game-winning goals, and the goal she scored, a game-winning goal. Also of note, Alina Rakowitz. What a fantastic job she's done as late as Kutztown has allowed just 1 goal during its 5-game winning streak. And she was on Rakowitz for all but 45 minutes of the team's 392-minute and 40-second scoreless streak that ended against the Crimson Hawks of IUP. Meanwhile, for KU field hockey, the Golden Bears had a nice offensive switch, which saw Anna Bain return to the Golden Bears. She would play in the central forward position. You had Jamie Koenig move out right. It played a key role in KU's 5-3 victory against Slippery Rock this past Friday in the AC opener. Aaron Reynolds had 2 goals. So did Anna Boehm. Julia Snyder added in a goal. The following day against IUP, it looked like it could be another victory for the Golden Bears as they grabbed the 2-0 lead in the first half. Megan Tewald deflected in a shot from Aaron Reynolds, and then Anna Boehm scored an unassisted goal. However, IUP would outscore Kutztown at 4-0 in the second half. So KU 1-1 so far in PSAC play. 4-4 overall. Talking to head coach Marci Scheuing, she talked about 2 things. First, the offensive switch, and then second, the next step for the Golden Bears.
Anna Boehm being back is obviously a huge offensive push for us, and I bumped Jamie Koenig out to right forward, and I moved Anna into the center to create more offense down our strong side, and it definitely worked in the Slippery Rock game. It also worked in the first half of the IUP game, but then we broke down defensively and let them score 4 unanswered goals in the second half after having a 2-0 halftime lead. But it definitely, obviously, 7 goals in 2 games as compared to 1 in 3 games before that. Obviously, Anna being back and Jamie moving out to the side is a huge, huge help on our offensive end.
Next up for the Golden Bears, Saturday, a conference game at Mercyhurst, a 9:30 a.m. game. KU will make the travel Friday, play Saturday morning. KU lost at home to the Lakers 4-1 in a non-conference game, but Coach Scheuing talked about the next step for KU.
Our midfield really has to step up. Our defense has been playing outstanding, and now our offense is finishing goals. You shouldn't lose a game when you're up 2-0 at half. That's enough to win a game, and I really think there's been a breakdown in our midfield, and we've really worked on that.
So we'll see what happens for field hockey coming up next. Meanwhile, we have for KU tennis, the women competed in the Bloomsburg Open this past weekend, but they finally get some team play started against some of the PSAC schools. You have women against Mercyhurst tomorrow, 2:30 p.m. at Keystone Courts, and then Saturday against Edinburgh, 11 a.m. at the Keystone Courts. Meanwhile, men's and women's cross country continue their season at the Paul Short Invitational. We'll talk with head coach Ray Hoffman next week, as that is going to be an important meet for this team to really get into that swing, the October swing, heading to the DeSales Invitational and eventually the Lafayette Leopard Invitational, and finally the PSAC Championships by the end of the month. And then finally, golf. They'll be at the Kutztown Fall Invitational, Saturday 2 p.m., Sunday all day, and we'll hear from Coach Rob Fisher and crew to see next week what happened in the KU Fall Invitational. A reminder, broadcasting notes, tomorrow 7 p.m., KU Volleyball against Lock Haven on the Golden Bear Network. Saturday, football Family Day against Slippery Rock, kickoff 1:05 p.m. from University Field. That will be streamed here on KUR. And then Tuesday, volleyball hosting East Stroudsburg, 7 p.m. That too on the Golden Bear Network. Until next time, this is Adam Dobrowolski signing out from the KUR studios as we conclude this edition of the Golden Bear Beat. Just a reminder, as you cheer on the Golden Bears, make sure to chant, "Go Bears, go!"
Thank you for listening to this week's edition of the Golden Bear Beat. Make sure to stay updated on everything involving Kutztown University athletics at KUBears.com and tune in for weekly broadcasts every Thursday at noon on KUR.